Alola Pokemon trainers, this is GatorX, and today I'll be talking about the Dream World and how it connects to Pokemon Sun and Moon. Before I begin, I just want to remind you to check out my last video for a theory about Ultra Space. I've also been working on another channel where I'll be making animated story videos as well as vlogs, kind of similar to Odd Ones Out, Jade Animations, and other channels of the like. I post every Saturday, so go ahead and check it out. Now with that taken care of, let's begin. The Dream World is an interesting concept from Generation 5. It was introduced to us by the character Fennel, who had created a device that would allow Pokemon to travel to the Dream World, using Dream Mist produced by Musharna. It would appear as if the Dream World is something that has always existed, but Fennel's research makes it possible to travel there. The Dream World consisted of various games on the Pokemon Global Link, where you could send a Pokemon from your game cartridge. You could also send back Pokemon and items you find online to your game. This was also where you were able to obtain Pokemon with their hidden abilities. There are other ways introduced later that would allow you to obtain these abilities, but due to it being the first introduction and the fact that these Pokemon obtained in the Dream World will always have their hidden abilities, it seems like Pokemon with these hidden abilities originate from the Dream World. There was also the download title Pokemon Dream Radar, where you were asked by Professor Burnett to help her research the Inter-Dream Zone, a place where dreams and reality cross. All Pokemon caught here and transferred to a game will also have their Dream World abilities. This is interesting because we know from Sun and Moon, Professor Burnett would later go on to further research other dimensions. The Inter-Dream Zone definitely seems to be another dimension as well as the Dream World itself. From what we can gather, there are no humans here, and all Pokemon have different abilities. It seems that the only ways to connect to the Dream World is through the Inter-Dream Zone and the Entralink. The Entralink is yet another interesting place. It's in the center of the Unova region and almost has a magical feel to it. After having your Pokemon roam in the Dream World, this is where you can receive the items and Pokemon they've encountered. From the Entralink, you can also cross over into another player's game and carry out various missions. So the Entralink seems to be a junction where several dimensions and possibly universes intersect. Here's the thing though. In Black 2 and White 2, you can no longer use the Entralink to access the Dream World. And in later generations, you definitely can't access the Dream World, as there's no Entralink in any other region, and the Dream World service was shut down in 2014. But we still are able to get Pokemon with their hidden abilities. In Black 2 and White 2, there are various overworld Pokemon that will have their hidden abilities. In X and Y, they're available through Friend Safari, in ORAS they're available through DexNav, and in Sun and Moon they're available through SOS battles. So if, hypothetically, these hidden ability Pokemon originate from the Dream World, why are they randomly appearing in the regular Pokemon world? My guess is there would have had to have been something that caused these dimensions to merge. As mentioned before, there is already a place where these two dimensions cross, and it's the Inter-Dream Zone. But it seems almost as if the Inter-Dream Zone has at least partially become present through the entire Pokemon world in every region. Presumably, this event would have had to occur between Black and White and their sequels, since the sequels are where we first see these Pokemon wandering about. But this is also the time where the Dream Radar was introduced, so it is possible that maybe a high amount of experiments caused it to partially manifest in the Unova region around this time. Before I go any further, let me establish the known dimensions and universes within the Pokemon multiverse. First, there's the initial universe, where there are no Megastones or Infinity Energy, and it consists of generations 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Secondly, there's the Infinity Pokemon universe, where there are Megastones and Infinity Energy. It consists of generations 6 and 7. Both of these also have their alternate realities based on each game cartridge, but for the most part they can be organized as such. Next are the other dimensions like the Distortion World, but that's only connected to the initial timeline, as well as the Dream World and the Inter-Dream Zone. I would assume that the Inter-Dream Zone is more of a physical place in the initial Pokemon universe, but regardless, it links the Dream World with the initial Pokemon universe. There is also Ultra Space, but so far it's only linked with the Infinity Pokemon universe. There are of course other theories that discuss inter-universal travel between the two main Pokemon universes using these Ultra Wormholes, although I suggest you check out one of those, or maybe even check out the one I did last week. For the most part, with that established, there is something important we need to remember. Generation 5 occurs during the initial Pokemon timeline, the one where Mega Evolutions don't exist. It was only in Generation 6 where hidden ability Pokemon were more abundant in the usual Pokemon world. And this is also the first game where our knowledge of a different universe with Infinity Energy and Megastones exists comes about. So if the event that happened during the Infinity Timeline created Megastones and Infinity Energy, what's to say it didn't also cause the Dream World and the Pokemon universe to merge? It was possibly AZ's weapon that caused it to merge, or it could have even been the original battle between Primal Groudon and Kyogre. Hypothetically, any large-scale event could have caused these two to merge. This could be why in Black and White, the existence of the Dream World and hidden ability Pokemon is a groundbreaking discovery, but in X and Y and onward, they're a relatively common occurrence. You aren't even required to travel to the Dream World or the Interlink to encounter them. They've already been here for potentially thousands of years. Now the big question is, what exactly could this event have been? In all honesty, I wouldn't know, and there's no real evidence aside from a hunch. But out of all the possible events, I'd say AZ's ultimate weapon could have had the necessary power for something like this to occur. Out of the other different events we know of in the Infinity Universe, this seems to be the largest scale and most destructive. There is, of course, like I said, no solid evidence of this event being the culprit, but if I had to guess, it would be this one. It is connected with Infinity Energy, which we know to be capable of creating inter-universal portals, as seen in the Delta episode. There is the possibility of there being some other large-scale event happening in the Infinity Universe we just don't know about. And it could be revealed in a future game, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think it's possible the Dream World has connected to the Infinity Pokemon universe, or do you think that something else is causing this to happen? Leave a comment down below and we can continue the discussion. Also, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. If you do subscribe, please do enable notifications by clicking the bell icon next to the subscribe button. Doing this will make sure you see each new video as it happens and will make you a part of the Chingling squad. Anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a nice day.